I remain Chigozendibo, the host anchor, welcoming you to this exciting edition of the Political Rumbles here in Core Wave TV. We are live from direct here again, of course, to discuss pertinent issues and as a borders on our existence as a people. And being that it is very pertinent, of course, to discuss and analyze most recent happenings and the impact it has on the masses of populations of this country and by extension other African uh, regions. You are most welcome once again. I trust you're doing great. And on the review today is very important that we get to understand what is really happening with the Supreme Court and the position of Atiku and Tinubu haven't responded, of course, the petition made by Atiku, that Atiku's petition to be dismissed without any further delay. Well, let's see whether that is a command or his personal opinion. Only time will tell, being that he is the presiding or supposed president of the Nigerian state as it stands now. Whether, of course, the new petitions or addition of evidence, of course, in the favor of Atiku will be admitted by the court or will be tossed based on technicalities. Another one is that the incessant accidents, of course, and death toll being recorded in the Nigerian highways because of the dilapidated and the horrible state of these roads, claiming more life than ever imagined. Tanker, of course, loaded with diesel, has to crash on Lagos Highway. You know what that importance, the economic damage and the loss to life, which it portends, and that is quite unfortunate. We have with me here uh, an erudite analyst here, Mr. Michael. Good morning, Mr. Michael Dan.
Good morning, sir. Today.
It's a pleasure having you in today's political rumbles.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Tinubu asked Supreme Court to squash, to dismiss Atiku's petition. Your take on that?
Yes, of course, he had to take a position based on the fact that the matter is now before the Supreme Court. Tiku has made his prayers known, and more evidence has been provided by the presidential candidate of People Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and it is in response to that position that Tinubu is also giving his prayer, perhaps through his counsels, that the what is before the Supreme Court should be thrown out, and so it is just a mere prayer, which is not unexpected when a matter is before the courts.
Which is not unexpected. Even the supposed criminal has the right to defend himself unless proven otherwise
Yeah.
by the competent court of law. And when it comes to the word competent, and do you think the Nigerian system, in the eyes of the current realities, could be considered to be competent or trusted to deliver justice?
For me, I think regardless of how imperfect our system is, that is what we have now, and that is what we have to make do of. We've had judgment given by some justice in the past, in the that has been commendable in terms of when you look at that such judgment and the constitution, you will see that the law has been properly followed and all of that. In terms of looking at what the position of the law is and what is given as judgment, and we have also had situation where the the bench have not lived up to expectation in terms of what they delivered. because people can easily relate with it that it is not in agreement even with the constitution and with our laws. So this has I think it's more of each judge is proving themselves who they are in terms of standing up when it matters for our nation and all of that. So, as I said, as imperfect as our system is, that is what we have for now, and that is what we must work with, and that is what we must continue to improve upon. And I think that is my position on that.
What we have to work with, regardless of whether it favors us or not, we should accept it in good faith. Is that what you're saying? Or doesn't the people have the right, of course, to protest against the opinions of the judiciary or legal luminaries if it is not in tandem with the provisions of the constitution? Should we accept it? And
Of course, protest is a right when you think you've not gotten justice, when you think there is more
denial
that
of
has gone.
dissent.
Exactly, there is. Uh, you are not convinced about what you are getting as justice or as judgment of any of the courts. It is a right of such individual to protest peacefully, though, so that we don't promote anarchy, because the only option to that is anarchy, and which is not what we are trying to promote. But the right to protest is a right, is a fundamental right, and I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, as you rightly cited, don't you think that in a state where there is perceived injustice or gross violation of people's rights or opinion, as enshrined in the Constitution, the right to vote or to choose who becomes your president. Don't you think that, of course, set a precedence for anarchy when there is perceived lawlessness or not adherence to the rule of engagement? Don't you think that that is an advanced anarchy?
Absolutely. I mean that is why we must continue to press it upon government that the environment you create matters. During an electionary campaign and all of that, we saw some of the things that pans out in some part of the country and all of that. The right to vote, the entire process of getting our leaders elected now must have been improved upon. Some things are not, I mean, were tidied up in the last election, as reported even by both local and international observers and all of that. So it is something that we must continue to improve upon, to tidy up every end that is loose and all of that. The people must the process must be fair. It must be seen to be fair. It must be transparent. Anybody can access anything along things must not be shrouded in secrecy and all of that. People must not be deprived at any stage of our electionary process. And I think that is what we must continue to advocate on, so that when people don't trust a system, when people can no longer be part of a system that is bringing on board our leaders, then such a nation is heading for anarchy.
And when that happens, nobody is spared, not even the political elites. Now, what happens when the supposed citizens who should hold government accountable for whatever, of course, interest they want to protect, we don't want to call a spade a spade. They want to protect.
Based on individuals, there is no society that everybody moves in a particular direction.
Okay,
People have right to move in the direction they want to move, but what is important is for the environment to be or that comes from the process of getting our leaders elected. I think it's an individual thing, but there must be the system must be able to check such individual when it is becoming a crime. And I'll give you an instance. The just as we have established that everyone has the right to choose whoever he or she wants to vote for. Then when you now have a group of people that are coming up with threats, and that threat is targeted at a particular set of people, then the system, law enforcement agencies to be precise now, should be able to checkmate that and ensure that no individual is threatened on the basis of who he or she wanted to vote for. And that is how we can begin to have a system that is balanced, that is fair. Because once alternatives, which may not be lawful alternatives to be precise, and all of that. So it is still boils down to how we have been able to improve on our system, so that when a particular decision of a group of people is tilting towards a crime, because that is the missing link. We don't know when people are playing politics. You don't know when it becomes when your politicking is being taken beyond normal, and it is now becoming a crime. Like we see in some places during the last election, that at the point there were threats, at the point people were coming up with all kinds of funny things, including in Lagos, where people have to come up with we are doing Oro festival and all of that, just to make sure that some people are deprived of going through that process and going through that right, that fundamental right of theirs. So I mean, those are areas that we must continue to speak against, and law enforcement agencies must be alive to do their job in ensuring that nobody is deprived of that process.
At that time, we will now begin to whether trust the independence of the electoral process, and of course, sanity will be entrenched. Apart from that, there have been several records of accident casualties in major roads. The Lagos highways has become a killing spot, so to say, a death trap, just like every other roads, recording unnecessary accidents that should have been avoided. So, what exactly is the government doing in protecting the life of the supposed citizens and the user of those roads in our society today?
Thank you. It's unfortunate that we are having accidents, avoidable accidents. That I want to put it avoidable. Some of those things are avoidable in some instance. Don't forget, much as I will agree that some of it were caused by bad roads and all of that, we also have several other factors that could have been responsible for crashes on our roads. And we have overspeeding at some point. Sometimes you see overloading, and I begin to wonder: are there no agencies of government that are meant to checkmate some of these excesses? Just 2 days ago, while I was seated around here, I saw some vehicles that are traveling, and I know those vehicles are going towards the north, other part of the country, and I saw what they loaded in that vehicle. Clear
Beyond the capacity of
these are visible cases of overloading, and such a driver, you are engaging in overspeeding. Sometimes this individual are also under the influence of alcohol and all of so a combination of these factors and more are recipe for disasters on our roads. And when you now have such individual now applying a road that is deplorable in some instance, then the results is the crashes that we have seen in the last couple of days. So, and who is supposed to checkmate all of this? There are agencies of governments that have that responsibility to checkmate. We have the VIOs, we have all of those other agencies, road safety, marshal, and all of that. Sometimes I wonder what are they looking for on these roads when they are standing there. When you when you don't take up an issue and make it serious in terms of punitive measures and all of that, then people will not be deterred. It won't make any sense to change. There will not be reason to change. But when people are sanctioned when they needed to and all of that, these are the things that make people to conform with set standards and procedures.
Honestly, and that is found wanting within the Nigeria. And most of the security operatives teach towards bribery, inducement, or compelling the masses to even stop them. It's rather unfortunate. Thank you so much, esteemed Colin, for your wonderful and frantic submission. Yes, we have the only man who is not afraid of of um, of death.
Yes, MC Grama, the man that tells the truth always. My name is MC Grama. I want to use the opportunity to greet Nigerians and diaspora, Nigerians anywhere you're watching me from, and Nigerians in Nigeria, anywhere you're watching me from. I remain yours and only MC Grama. All right, back to the question this morning.
Yeah, at the same time, I want to welcome everyone watching us wherever you might be watching this morning. Good morning once again. I'm to Andrew. Okay, watching from Dublin. Good morning. How is Dublin today? And I trust everyone is doing great. Yes, what we have here this morning, Tinubu tells the Supreme Court to dismiss, to throw away, of course, the petition filed in by the Atiku and his council.
Why will he tell them to dismiss the petition filed against when he knows he's a criminal? You see, this country, I don't know why criminals are always excelling. Listen, let's just put tribalism apart. Let's put sentiment apart. Why is it that criminals always excel in this country? Now, supposing you're working in a company and now they discover that you came with a forged result, they will sack you instantly. Now, why is it difficult for us to sack Tinubu as a president?
No, I think the court has to decide that even when it is perceived to be true, people are not meant to take laws into their hands. So until it is established by the competent court of law, but asking, of course, the appeal by Atiku to be dismissed,
the court,
well, could be a way of responding to the prayers.
The courts themselves are even criminals. That is my problem. The court we're even talking about, they're also criminals. Look at what happened in the panel, whatever they just finished recently. What do you know? It means Tinubu give each and every one of them 1 billion. So what do you expect? How will I receive 1 billion and come out and tell you it's nothing? So I will
have
judge
evidence to that.
I have evidence. See,
how do you provide your evidence? Let us not just make assumptions, but let's respond.
The only thing I say, when it gets to court, I can provide the evidence. So this is not court. I'm telling the truth. If anybody sues me to court or anything, then if I provide the evidence, let's say.
Okay, you mean that is your personal opinion?
Yes, my personal opinion.
It does not represent the opinion of the court with TV. Or
so what I'm trying to say is that this country, I don't know why criminals will keep dominating. Now, we all know very well. I've been saying it from beginning that Tinubu is not a graduate. I keep saying it, but people refuse to listen to me. Everybody in this country, when you get to power through Wyomings, everybody's singing about you. That was exactly what happened in the case of Tinubu. You got to power through Wyomings. Everybody forgot themselves and they are singing another thing. Look at Yorubas when he wanted Emiloko. Now, what you call Tinubu? What is happening? Look at fuel, look at it. The Yorubas are now shouting. You people will cry very well in this country because we have not started. You voted for him.
No, I think I disagree. I have more than 101 Yorubas who did not vote for him. Even who today are not happy with the system entrenched by this
Okay.
administration. So when you are using the word Yoruba, you shouldn't polarize
Okay,
it.
can I say something?
You could use the word some
Okay,
Yorubas,
wait, can I say
which
something?
I'm
Can
aware
I
of.
say something? When I say Yorubas, I am talking a percentage. 70% of Yorubas voted for Tinubu, while 30% never voted. So I'm talking about majority. I'm not talking about minority. I'm not saying there are people, there are not people that in Yorubas that doesn't dislike Tinubu, but majority likes Tinubu. In Yoruba, that's what I'm talking about. They are clamoring and saying, Omowani Joshe is our child, let him do it. Now their child is doing it. What is happening? I'm not saying P2B is the best. After P2B has his own problem too. If he enters there, we are going to see his fall too. But what I'm trying to say, we all know that P2B is better. You understand? But that does not justify anything. What I'm trying to say is that now Nigerians are beginning to see things. They are beginning to see things happening. And so definitely they should just take it like that. Because whatever we see now, we just have to take it like that. It's a must that it must happen. So why are we not complaining? Now look at the way this country is going now. Look at what is happening. Look at the country that is country. Look at Israel. Israel said they attacked Israel. Now Israel did not say let us go and seek from Holy Spirit. Let us go and pray. But here we say the God of Israel. But Israel did not say let us go and pray. What did they do? They strike back. That's a country. That's a country that know who they are. The country who doesn't tolerate nonsense. But Nigeria will say God of Israel, God of this, God of Abraham. But we are busy saying God of Abraham. You know, Nigeria, when you strike Nigeria, they will keep on saying God. They will keep. But Israel don't tolerate nonsense. They strike back. That is what is called a country. That's a country that know what the country. They know where they belong. So you see, what I'm trying to say is that look at the way Israel are busy destroying. See, I am in support of what Israel is doing. I don't bloody care. Why will I sit and you now attack my citizens? You kill 100 and you capture 100 and something. And you expect me to fall down and look you and clap for you. God punish your papa. I will finish that country.
Please, SM fans, kindly hit this like buttons, and of course, so that more viewers will access this. Thank you as you do so. And you see that you are trying to digress from what we are focusing.
No,
But I will still come over
All
there.
right, yeah.
Yes, now that Atiku have filed the petition and Tinubu's legal counsels have responded in defense of Tinubu's position, do you think the Supreme Court will serve justice?
Good. I want to say something. Please, you know why I hate this country? This country is filled with tribalism. Let me say this, because if I don't say it, it will annoy me. No, Atiku Hausa man and Tinubu, have you had any problem between Hausa and Yoruba? No. But if it's Fit Obi that is filing this suit, they would have been attacking Igbos in Lagos. I'm telling you the truth. If it is Fit Obi that is digging all this thing, they would have been attacking Igbos in the West. That's to tell you that this country is a messed up country. But now that is Hausa, they can't charge when Hausa is. They will finish them. That's why they are keeping silence and mute. But if it's an Igbo person, you will see them attacking. Look at the other election. What did they do? Look at what did they do? You understand? What I'm trying to say is that you guys should watch what is happening in this country. If it is now, if it's because it's an Hausa man, nobody's complaining. But if it's an Igbo man, now they will be attacking Igbos. So I want to say this to Yorubas. Hausa man is not attacking Tinubu Yokawe. Nobody's attacking Hausa man. You understand? But if it's an Igbo man, you will know how to burn their shops. You will know how to, your government will say, I don't want Igbo man here and there. Because it's not Peter Bina, nobody's talking. So I pity Nigerians. This country is sentimental because they know if they near Hausa, they will finish them. They know. So that's why they're not talking. So me, Peter, if you are watching, I want you to bring up something too. Let's see what is going to happen. If this country wants to burn, let it burn. If we want to survive, let it survive. I don't see why one tribe will just dig something, everybody wants to die. But what I'm trying to say in this present condition is that Tinubu should be ready. We want Tinubu to step down. What he did is what I call a criminal offense. Stop attaching lawyer, court or no court. Criminal offense is criminal offense. You said you are a graduate. Now, the American university came out to deny that the result you presented is not from them. So what is the difference between you and Mesoma? There's no difference. Please, you people should listen. There's no difference between you and Mesoma that forged Wayek this thing. So what's the difference?
So was Mesoma taken to court before
That's what I'm
judgment
saying.
was passed?
They just quickly rush to her own judgment.
And she was suspended for 3 days, 3 years, right?
Yes.
That she will not get
Exactly.
admission
Why don't you
until after 3 years.
Because why don't you decide to? You see, Nigerians, each time I talk with sense and brain. Each time I talk with smartness. Link Mesoma to Tinubu's case. It's not different. So why are you Nigerians shouting? What is it that you're talking about? Tinubu should resign from there. Let him go back to Lagos. Let him forget the office of presidency. And let's look for another president. It's a failure. I wonder why Nigerians are keeping silence. That where are the likes of Falana? Stupid man, he's not talking. The radical lawyer, he's not talking now.
No, don't use the word stupid.
No,
He's a respected legal luminary and should not such words. I know him for fighting for fundamental rights of the people.
Let me say something.
So I disagree with your position.
Falana, we always fight and fight and fight. Now, it is Tinubu, his brother, he's not talking. Where is Wole Soyinka? Tinubu, his brother, he's not talking. What are all those great men that knows how to talk? They are not talking. This one in power now, this lawyer, what's his name? Festus Keyamo. Have you forgotten Keyamo sued Tinubu once upon a time? Keyamo sued Tinubu for the fact that Tinubu is not a graduate or no. He sued Tinubu one time. But now, where's his voice? You see, these are things I keep saying in this country. All these people know what they are doing. We have criminals, notorious criminals in Nigeria. All of them are all criminals. Where are they? Nobody's talking. Wole Soyinka, every little thing will come out to talk. Is he not talking? The man with the grey white hair. Where is he? The so-called educated man that everybody respects. Where is he? Is he talking now? No. They know what they are doing. All of them know what they are doing. Because this thing concerns their brother. Nobody's talking. So what are we saying?
So are you saying that they are, of course,
is playing out? That's what I'm saying.
tribalistic in their approach and response to national issues?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking now. You see, the problem with Nigeria, I know you watching me at home. You may be saying something that, MC Grammar, what is wrong with you? You are just hitting the point. You are hitting, let me tell you something. If you talk, you will die. If you don't talk, you will die. So let us all talk and die. So what are we running for? Please.
To the contrary, let us talk and, of course, serve within the image of humanity and live a moderate and a good life, not just living as slaves in the supposed country. Is quite unfortunate.
Summer, that's what I'm trying to say. So please, Nigerians, if you're watching this program and MC Grammar is talking, see, the other day I granted an interview. And it went viral. And I was surprised. Somebody called me from America. He used my dissidents, whatever and everything. So he was telling me that, man, you are the one trading on social media. I told him, I am not, don't say I'm the one trading. I am not talking because I want to trend. I'm not interested in trending. I am saying the facts. What I'm saying is nothing but the truth. Now, Nigeria.
I want to hear the truth
Nigeria
from
is
you.
dying. Nigeria is sick.
Do you expect justice to be served by the Supreme Court judges?
Supreme Court judges that are criminals. How do they serve judges? That's my question. Police is a criminal in Nigeria. Road safety is a criminal. Judges are criminals. So who is going to deliver this country? That's the problem. That's the question we all are asking.
So are you saying that all hope is lost?
All hope is lost. Even your Supreme Court has nothing to offer. That's the problem.
Then
Tinubu
what
is
should
controlling
become the
everybody.
fate of an average Nigerian, including you yourself?
Let me tell you, there is no hope for common man in Nigeria, and there is no hope for Nigerians. So what we are doing is just everybody is counting on God, God, God. God cannot come down from the sky to come and help us. We have to help ourselves. We Nigerians have to do something to help ourselves. That's what I'm saying. So how do we help ourselves? Let's learn how to do the right thing.
Okay, one of the notable viewers here, Mommy Kecho Caro says, I have no atom of trust in Falana. Well, she's just buttressing your position
That is it. That
about
is the
the legal luminary Falana.
Yes.
But she, in a light words, you said she has no trust or confidence in Falana. I think that is the position of Mommy
Falana
Kecho.
is
Trust you are
no-
doing well in London.
Falana is known to be the talking type. Falana is very outspoken. Anything Falana comes out to challenge, to talk. But now Falana is not talking. His brother is there. He can't talk. He maintained the seed lips. What is wrong with Nigerians?
Maybe possibly he might be waiting for the position of the Supreme Court before he comments.
Why will he wait?
He could be an interested party to this and may not, of course,
Supreme Court
at this time make his position.
Supreme Court cannot grant a favorable judgment. That's my problem here. Supreme Court cannot grant any favorable judgment because they are all working in the interest of Tinubu. So that's the problem. So let me tell you, you don't know Tinubu is a money bag. And you, what are you looking as a judge? What are you looking for? Money. I present you money. What
Money
will you say?
against conscience,
Yeah. See, that is Nigeria problem for you. Okay, look at it.
against justice.
Look at it. What is it called? Tinubu said he's going to the food, whatever he's going to give to palliatives. Yeah, okay. He gave us palliative. The governors blocked it. The palliative, did you reach your house? Did you reach anybody? I've never come across a common man that said, I received
I'm
palliative.
waiting my palliative
See,
from
that's the
God
problem.
and possibly from the SM fans
That's
whom I
but
want to
Tinubu-
encourage us here.
Tinubu have said something. I've given out palliative. They know that they are all criminals. The governor, he gave out palliative. Governors, if the money is about 12 billion, the governor will pocket something like 8 billion first. 4 billion, then others will pocket. So the one that will, you see, this is the problem we're facing in Nigeria. Until you see, why I don't blame the people. The people don't know, Nigerians don't know how to fight for their rights. Because we are cowards. We are all cowards. Nobody wants to die. Okay, nobody wants to die. Nigeria will continue to burn. Do you know there was a day I wanted to lead protests?
Nobody wants to die, but you, economic wise, security wise, Nigeria is going down gradually but consistently.
I wanted to lead protests. Nobody came out.
But you can be one man squad. If I have the cans hat,
Okay, let me
your
tell you.
muscles you have, I will also lead.
Wait, let me
as
tell you
one man
something.
squad.
I spoke in a party when I was still giving my phone number. I spoke in one particular this thing. I gave her my number. I said I want to lead a protest. Then I want Nigerians in the diaspora to help and support me. Do you know what? I will not deceive you. The people supported with about $10,000. Then people contributed money, about $10,000. Then I went out. I was mobilizing people. Let's gather.
I hope
I told no. I'm trying to tell you.
EFCC will not track you this time.
This is not that. I'm telling you the fact. Now, I told them I am going to pay you all. Listen, do you know what happened on that day? My brother, it was like a meeting. I did not see any of those guys.
And you didn't tell me, you didn't even confide in me that you received such amount.
I'm just trying to tell you.
Possibly I would have joined you in the
Why would
protest.
that research have come to loud it? So I tried to mobilize people. But what happened? I did not see people. People did not come out. I was highly annoyed. I said, what is wrong with Nigerians? You know what happened? I look at it because I am somebody, I love to do things straightforward. I looked at it and said, well, life is. I went to motherless baby home. I had to show some of it to motherless baby home because it's so painful that you plan this thing with people. That's why, you see, I have a page that sometimes when I want to do things, the reason why I stopped giving my phone number is because so many Nigerians in diasporas are very hungry. They are passionate. They want somebody who can liberate Nigeria, somebody who can work. Some of them will always call me. Some will even send money. But the money they are sending to me, those people are not willing to work. So it will look as if I'm embezzling the money. That's why I stopped it. The Nigerians are not ready to fight for themselves until they are ready to fight for themselves. That's the problem. Let me tell you, I used to tell people that, judging by, I'm not somebody who wants to make money and make money and make. No, I want equality. I want everybody to be equal. So I cannot just continue to say, I want to make money. I want to make money. No, no, it's not the same. So please, what I'm trying to say, everybody that listens to me, anytime I talk, people will understand. Let me tell you what somebody told me. A social media guy told me one day. He said, I talked on his platform. And he told me that, look, MC Grabber, anytime you talk on my platform, we used to command huge crowd. People used to listen. People, I said yes, because people want to hear the truth. I am not the type of talker that will come out and say, you know what, Tinubu is trying, let us give him space. To hell with that. I will say the truth. I will say the facts. You see, because if it's, see, let me tell you something. If I am opportune to meet Bola Asiwaju Tinubu one-on-one, I will tell him what I'm telling you. I swear to God, every man on earth, everybody owns one bullet. Everybody has only one bullet to go. So what are we talking? So why must we not say the truth?
Away from that, we are
okay. Let me remind you. Sorry, let me remind you something. I was going to Ikeja the other day. Some military men called me. I was afraid. I said I went to approach them. They said, "Sigrama, can you wallahi tell and Hausa people? Can I dey watch you? Can you wallahi? I dey tell them for government truth. Wallahi, make I continue. I dey talk them for the government. Wallahi, I dey support you." I was now surprised. A military man supported me. That day, I gathered confidence. I gathered courage. I said, people want to hear the truth. These people are listening to this army man that is supposed to kick against me. They are telling me they are supporting me. Brother, everybody is getting it. Hit. Everybody is getting it. Everybody. This is hitting everybody.
It's hitting everybody, and yes, even those in diaspora, yes, fans, we want to visit Nigeria for one or two reasons, but could not because of fear.
Let me tell you something.
Of death or unknown.
I want to use this.
Let me use this opportunity to greet Mr. Uche. Good morning, Uche Jene. Good morning to you, and of course, good morning to Mommy Kechi. Good morning to Andrew. Good morning to Chief Professor Oje Okwade. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today? How is hosting? Or are you still in Australia? Okay, said watching live from Sydney, Australia. Wishing you all happy 13th Friday, October. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you. I trust everyone is doing great around you.
I want to use the opportunity to say something, please. I want to say for Nigerians and diasporas, Nigeria, anywhere you're watching me from, everywhere. Please, I want to do something. The way this country is going, I'm not happy. Now, I know very well we need funds to mobilize our country. I want to start up something, and very soon I'm going to open that. I'm going to open that level. Whatever, send in anything you have into the distance. I want to start to mobilize against it. I want to fight Tinubu governments. Because
what we needed here is to give direction to the government.
You can
what they are not doing right, and how to do it right.
Excuse me.
We are here to sensitize them. So you calling for mobilization to fight the government might somehow might somehow implicate you, and I wouldn't want such to happen in this platform.
Can I tell you something?
Your security is also important to us, and so you should be cordial in your submissions.
Please, I want to say something. Please, let me tell you. I'm from Arondizogi, from Imo State. Anybody that knows Arondizogi will tell you who they are. Arondizogi fears no battle. Arondizogi has a lion heart. Arondizogi fears no human being. Arondizogi is equipped with everything. Juju or whatever you call it, we are equipped with it. I am not a man who fears anybody. Anything you want, war or peace, I give it to you. That's who I am. That's what I'm trying to tell this man. It's not everybody that runs away from war. I am war myself, and people fight me. What I'm trying to say, I don't make mouth, I just don't make lips. I just tell you that this is me. I want to start up because Tinubu is not listening. He's not listening to the cry of the poor masses. Somebody must make him listen. MC Grandma has vowed that I'm going to make Tinubu listen to the cry of the poor masses. I will make him listen and let him know that the poor masses are suffering. You cannot just be there in Abuja feeling that all is right, whether things are not happening. If he has no somebody, he has nobody opposing him. The one Atiku is doing is small. The one P2B is doing is small. Those ones are not fighting it the way I want them to fight it. I want to fight, we fight with Tinubu government and let them know that the poor masses. I want to come. I want to be a representative of the poor masses. I want to fight this fight. Please, I'm not saying you should join me to fight this fight, but when time comes, I will need your financial support. I will need everything of your support just to make sure that you will hear when I'm fighting you. You will be there in diaspora. You will be hearing the fight that MC Gaba is fighting against Tinubu, and then let us make Nigeria a better place and a safe place, a place where other countries could say, we want to be like Nigeria. We cannot continue to be like this forever and ever. Somebody must wake up. Let me tell you something.
Somebody must wake up. Thank you so much, MC Grandma, for your wonderful submissions here.
Nnamdi Kanu was not known in Nigeria, but he started fighting a war. He was known. MC Ghana is not known, but when I start the war, I will be known. Thank you very much, Nigerians in that war. I respect you all. Thank you for listening to me, and I want this opportunity to appreciate you all. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much once again. MC Gama is very hot this morning, and you can see from his language and emotions, he's not happy with the realities unfolding here in Nigeria, where people are unfortunately hungry, haggard in the midst of the relative abundance God has blessed us with. But unfortunately, it's been misguided and misfired. We should have used, of course, exploit wealth, natural resources, and human capacity to develop the society we truly desire. But unfortunately, the contrary is what we are experiencing today. And it's rather unfortunate that we are trapped in this quagmire, looking for a way to navigate out of this wood. How soon shall we end this endless rhetoric and pains that should have been avoided? Nigeria today is nothing, of course, to be desired in terms of economy, in terms of security and welfare of the citizenry. And people are asking questions, endless questions, without solutions or answer to this myriad of problem. We have with me the next analyst here, Mr. Tinubu. You are most welcome to this wonderful moment. I do welcome you, comrades. Thank you so much for your time. The audience are waiting to hear your own position regarding the happenings here. And esteemed friends, please don't forget to hit the subscription button. Likes, we just have about 3 or 4 likes here. I will crave you to just give us the thumbs up, and of course, we will be good to go while we wait for the comrade who is an analyst and a journalist to, of course, bar his mind regarding the happenings within the Nigerian state. You are most welcome, comrade. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to this political rumbles.
Good morning.
Yes, esteemed fans, we have comrade Chinedu, an analyst and a writer. Of course, he's here to elucidate on the points being stressed this morning. Tinubu, of course, asked Supreme Court to dismiss the petition by Atiku and his legal counsel. Your take?
It's left for the judiciary to actually bring in their professionalism in that angle and know whether something is what Tinubu is trying to say. But that notwithstanding, I think they should look deeply and find out, if there are merits or demerits of what Atiku have submitted to the Supreme Court. Then they'll be able to know whether they will actually strike it or not. Because actually the issue is really damaging the image of this country, that a president of Nigeria is being involved
It's been dragged to the law.
over sophisticated academic credentials, and which has come to the limelight of so many Nigerians now, and even affecting some students abroad. As I'm talking to you now, there are some places you go in outside the country, they are already calling for a review of credentials submitted by Nigerians, over this issue. So the image is not something to write home about, and we are being seen as producing someone as president who is, an international forgery expert in that regard, and it's not a good.
That has not been established by Nigerian courts. Could you
yes, they can go and continue with their audio propaganda, but at least from the layman point of view, we have seen that actually there were discrepancies in that academic credentials that were made public. There are discrepancies, and everybody knows actually there were discrepancies. So on that regard, it was not properly done by the Tinubu team, to look at it very well and know, how to lock down or ratify those discrepancies. We have seen, entering that school with a certificate that cannot be traced to any school. It is a very damaging effect. It has a damaging effect on Nigeria, especially the presidency. A lot of people are looking at Tinubu now as somebody whose personality is a mystery, and for us, I don't think it's a good image for Nigeria.
That the mystery, but you still have to blame Tinubu alone. What of the institution as big as Chicago State University wouldn't make a preliminary inquest to know and ascertain whether those prerequisite documents for admission was authentic? So don't you think that Chicago State University was also culpable or an accomplice to this crime?
I don't think they want to accept that responsibility, of being culpable of what happened as at that time when Tinubu first of all submitted that record for admission in that school. It would have been assumed, I believe, by the authorities that that was, exactly what he is, or what the correct academic record he submitted was correct. I think it was based on assumption, but proper investigation was not done to know whether that school was in existence as at that time that Tinubu submitted such credentials for admission in Chicago University.
But that was either, I think, WAEC or so that was in existence then.
No,
They would have written to WAEC to know, ascertain whether those subject was passed.
The school he attended, the school he said he attended. Yes, I don't think that school, from feelers all around, that school was actually in place, in existence as I went Tinubu. I think that thing was just basically a juvenile game played by Tinubu. You understand, as at that time, because it is very easy as at that time, when people had not thoroughly advanced in terms of technology exposure, trying to know one thing or the other about anybody, and him too, he didn't foresee it, that actually this thing is going to bring him a lot of problem now. Yes, so it's left for him now to answer those questions. Why he will submit a record, a school record that is not in existence, and use such record to gain admission in Chicago University.
Now, what is the position of the Nigerian law regarding such cases of forgery or perjury? Does Nigeria's law have any provision for that?
Of course, now perjury is a criminal offense. One, forgery is also a criminal offense, but it depends on how there is going to be played in the court of law. when the logic and law will play itself, and they'll be able to know actually, who went against the law, and then the law will not take its course. But it is a criminal offense, and once you are found guilty in that regard, perjury is a criminal offense, and from what you are seeing, it is pure perjury. And
Is there any penalty attached to that?
of course
If
now,
it's a criminal
of course now, unlike any other criminal offense, you understand. Once you are found guilty now, you face the law. It's left for the judge or the judiciary or whoever that is in charge, to look at the degree of offense and know whether you are going to go for 200 years or 100 years or 10 years imprisonment.
But does that count as far as the president is concerned, being that he enjoys certain immunity clause and possibly might not be predisposed to such a trial?
It's a big damage on his personality and the image of the presidency. It shows there's no integrity. Everything about the president that's supposed to be in the public domain has been shielded in top secret. People are calling that Tinubu should be properly unveiled, so that Nigerians will know who he is at the moment. But the thing have refused to die down. And from what is going on, I think if it is in an advanced world, advanced country, by now, I think you should have tendered his resignation.
How many of Nigerians politicians who want to tender resignation, being that they enjoy all the luxuries of such office? Could that be possible in Nigeria today?
See, like they always said, salvation came through one man, and death also came through one man. You understand? Nigerians can decide. He can decide to say. After all, Jonathan did it. Even when it was convenient for him, he made himself. He convenienced himself. To let Nigeria be. You understand? He became the first civilian president in Nigeria, to relinquish power, while even in office. So that's why the problem is not even the presidency itself. The problem is that the institutions that produce the institutions of government in Nigeria, are very weak and corrupt. If you have a very sound institution, by now, I think Tinubu should have, stepped aside, until we determine who actually he is.
Who actually he is? A man who fought all through his life to become the president. Don't you think he would do everything within his reach, of course, to protect the same office, regardless of what others or opinions of the public?
It's not a matter. It's not a matter of fighting a cause in disguise.
But recall, he said he is ready to fight dirty.
Fighting dirty, where we know that your personality is not clear to Nigerians, and we know your antecedents in the past. That you can buy anything with money, and you know that Nigerian institutions, are very corrupt. That is why they will always have these people, who are not are not even qualified, in terms of their integrity, in terms of genuine patriotism for the country, coming into position of taking political positions, either hook or crook. And that is exactly what we are experiencing for the past 60 years. Nigerians have not been able to produce good leaders, that would have provided good governance. But what we continue to see is weak institutions, and for the fact that those institutions continue to be very weak, corrupt, unpatriotic, we continue to see people who are not worthy to be in position of hold political positions, manipulating their way, into such positions, and the society will still, the African factor and the Nigerian factor will still play in, because people believe that he has money, and whatever he does is worthwhile.
You said weak institution, and Amechi Wachuku here is butchering your point. Said what Nigeria needs is a strong institution and not strong people. But don't you think there can be a strong institution without strong people who are morally sound, and who are committed to development of humanity. We have people who manage the institution. It revolves about the citizens and individuals who have the tendency to be corrupt or to be induced for selfish or personal gains against the public or national interest. So how do we have strong institutions when we have politicians who are gross beneficiaries of this flawed system? They benefited from this flawed system, continue to benefit, and their generations unborn will also benefit. So do you think they will have the moral confidence or the political will to reject the same institution who they have benefited over the years?
That's what I'm saying. I think there should be national orientation in that regard. That the spirit of nationalism and patriotism should be promoted, and there should be a grassroots campaign advocacy, for a proper, rejigging and bringing personalities of integrity, in such institutions, whereby people of who are worthy, will be seen, manning such institutions. That is when we begin to see, people of great character, people of impeccable personality.
How can that be possible with this system?
That's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying now. Currently, now, I think the civil society organization have a lot to do in this regard. By massive campaign. In every sector of the country, especially the INEC, the judiciary, and of course the other institutions, that add values to Nigerian political system. There should be a massive campaign from the civil society organizations. They can do it, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Do you think we have national? Are they in existence? I don't. Their presence is not fair.
That's what I'm saying now. If there's no campaign in that regard, you understand, there might not be a drastic change as we anticipated in this on what we are talking about today. And the people who are supposed to have championed such strong institutions are civil society organization. It happens all over the world. If we are looking at political system to change, unless we have somebody like who is selfless, somebody like Peter Obi, who have seen his character in evidence in Anambra State, coming into such position and be able to bring in people of impeccable personalities, to man institutions, or all the government parastatals. Then I think from that point now, I think we'll begin to see stronger institutions begin to emerge. We begin to see corruption, being put aside, and the interest of the nation being put forward.
Interest of the nation being put forward. I think the rot is deep and deep seated. I do think that the Nigerian problem could be fixed in the next 4 years, because considering what is happening, we have not even started, let alone defining what we are and what we represent.
I don't think that the problem of Nigeria can be solved in the next 4 years, because the foundation is wrong. So for the fact that the foundation is wrong, it will be difficult to predict that Nigeria will be fixed to a certain point in the next 4 years. That is just impossible from my own point of view, because the signs are not there.
The signs even are not there, which means we are lost in this quagmire, and no one charting the direction. Now that it's been very clear that the foundation is wrong. So how do we reject the same foundation? That is the first point of contact.
I think Jonathan came very close to that angle with the 2014 confab, and as I'm talking to you now, there has been an uprising, a lone voice calling for a proper restructuring, maybe a national conference, where some of these things will be ironed and put to the table and let people feast on it, and know what to do at the end of the day. But for me, I think what is going to have a direct positive impact in that regard is when we talk about restructuring and the type of restructuring Nigeria should embark on. If not, these politicians will continue to make Nigerians dry and pretend as if nothing happens.
And they don't care who goes down, especially the interest is protected. Now, what kind of restructuring would you recommend at this time? And do you see the National Assembly, who has been a cog in the wheel of certain, of course, inactions and positions, be willing to offer sacrifice their selfish interests to promote the national interests?
I think the Nigerian activists, especially the civil society organizations, we have over 4,000 civil society organizations in Nigeria. I think it's
4,000.
Yes.
And where are they? What are they doing?
And I think it is high time that they start converging. They start convening rallies, meetings, to sanitize Nigerians on what they are supposed to do at this point in time. You understand? They're supposed to start championing a certain cause, that will allow Nigerians, to determine their future by themselves. I think that if they do that, then we'll begin to talk about the type of restructuring we are looking at. I think the federal government, the center should be balkanized at the moment. First, that's what they're supposed to do. The center, once it is being balkanized, then we'll look at power, being spread, the way constitutionally to other units of the federation. From there now we begin to talk about, okay, this is the type of restructuring that is okay for Nigeria. But for me, I want regional restructuring with states. Let the middle belt have their own, and the northeast and the northwest, the southeast, have a representative where the states are still there. That's the type of restructuring I have. But you understand, where a situation where the entire southeast will have their state and have somebody that represent them at the federal level. By which they will be able to, remove all this bottleneck of having more than 20,000 senators, 30,000 House of Reps, and at the end of the day, they all fill their pockets and get away. You understand? So the type of restructuring I'm talking about is regional restructuring with states. You understand what I'm saying? Then having one person, to represent at the federal level also. With that now we're able to, monitor and be able to fight, reduce corruption to the barest minimum.
Thank you so much, SM fans, for your wonderful submissions. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much, SM fans. On this note, of course, we'll wrap it up. You've heard it from the reviewers, and this question poses to all: what happens to the 70 millions of the Biafrans who are calling for the agitation or restoration of the Biafran state? I think such opinion or strong positions by this majority cannot be ignored at this time. What is your position regarding that? That will form, of course, part of our topical issues in the next edition. Remain blessed and have a fantastic day. Meanwhile, don't forget, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscription button, give us a thumbs up, and of course, you can choose to be part of the membership of our YouTube channel by way of supporting us to continue this service to humanity. Wishing you all the best of the day is Chigozie Ndebo. Bye for now until we come your way in the next edition.